Yo, and welcome to another episode of With Enough Prep Time. This is your host, the Nerd Man. Do me a favor, if you like, do during the video, do smash that like button, and help me get my videos out, and comment. I love comments, and I always answer to comments as well. So. I'll be doing more interacting videos on, where I do some live streams, but I wanted to react to this straight away because do I look like James Bond or what? I hate shirts. I hate shirts. I was trying to look like James Bond, but I hate shirts and I hate ironing, so it's a no go for me on the shirts. This is great. Well, let me start, just to give you a little preamble before I do my reaction to the latest in the Daniel Craig James Bond series. And just tell you what I think in general about the series as it's gone by so far. I am not the hugest fan of James Bond as a franchise. However, should I say I'm not? I actually like James Bond as a franchise, but I don't like the idea of James Bond parading around this kind of post-colonial symbol of the British Empire and Queen and country or whatever guy. As some kind of prototypical hero who's going around, Well, I don't mind him banging all the women around the world. That's kind of fun. But I like some of his toys. But I'm more, I'm a DC guy. I'm more of a Batman guy. You want to give me some, superhero whose power is white privilege. Give me, give me Batman. I'm sorry. I'm not. Please don't get your feelings hurt, white people. I'm not even like that. Okay. So, but having said that, I will say this. I think Daniel Craig's first Bond movie, Casino Royale, was the first film to ever get me really excited about the Bond franchise since I was like a child when I was watching it. And I will go as far as to say that Daniel Craig is the best James Bond today, apart from Roger Moore. Fight me if you want. It's Roger Moore. He's my childhood. No, on a serious note, I love Roger Moore. I think Roger Moore. I always judge a good James Bond by who I would least like to leave with my girlfriend, and for some reason I feel like Roger Moore would be the one. His name's Roger, for God's sake. His name's Roger. I mean, he seems like he knows what he's doing in that bedroom area. He's got gadgets. He's the only James Bond who uses gadgets in the bedroom. I'm scared of that, okay? But on a serious note, I think he has done a tremendous job. I think he blows Sean Connery out of the water. You can be a Sean Connery fanboy all you want. I'm just looking at it realistically. I'm not one of those people who's always like, oh, the new thing is the best thing, the new thing is the best thing. And I'll even admit he is better than Roger Moore in general. I just like Roger Moore's cheekiness, and the fact that he didn't take that character so seriously, since that character is completely preposterous, which is James Bond. He's such a completely ridiculous notion as a character. The fact that Roger Moore managed to wink about it, I always thought I like that, wink at the audience about it and not take the character too seriously. But I think what Craig did for me was he was the first one who was really, really human, and I really liked that about his character. He was a human. He was flawed. When he went up against what I think is my favourite Bond villain as well, which was Mad Mikkelsen in Casino Royale. I think there was a real vulnerability to both of them. You know, he wasn't the typical Bond villain, and he wasn't the typical James Bond. You know, he barely scraped out of things alive. Most of the time, he won by luck, which was funny because it went with the theme of the card game. You know, whether it's luck or skill. And so James Bond was very, very wily when it came to that. Sorry, I had to switch cameras. Sorry, ladies. Now you can see me much, much more clearer. Please do smash that like button if you do like, and subscribe if you want to listen to more of my reaction videos. I wanted to finish off that introduction. So I think Daniel Craig is a wonderful, wonderful James Bond. However, I do not like the franchise since that first initial Bond. I think they took away some of the magic of adding that realism where Bond was flawed, where girls could hurt Bond, where, you know, he was this cold ass killer who was, you know, tough as nails, but he wasn't like somebody who was finessing it. It was very, very untidy kind of fight style. And then also, as I said, that vulnerability he had with women, where it wasn't just like, oh, I can, you know, you could see how that charm came through, and that, you know, that he would be incredibly seductive to women, but that was a front, and that the real attraction to him, that women really, when they really fell for him, was for his vulnerability. And I saw less and less of that as the series went on, and I saw more and more of the kind of typical James Bond, the kind of Pierce Brosnan action James Bond, and, you know, much more of the Sean Connery, and, you know, the quips as well. I you know, I can. Roger Moore was a quipper. He was just a guy who everything he said sounded like a quip anyway. So. I could tolerate that, but I don't think that suited Daniel Craig's James Bond. I've always ranked the James Bond as my three highest as Daniel Craig now, which is the top, and then the guy who plays I can't remember his name, Timothy Dalton as the second. And Roger Moore as my third. Roger Moore as my second, and Timothy Dalton as my third. And what I loved about Timothy Dalton is he took it serious. You know, no quips, nothing like that. He found his own way of being uniquely charming without having to rely on, like, you know, unsophisticated kind of humor and gags. And I felt like that was what, you know, unfortunately, Daniel Craig started to stray more into. But I will never take away from him his first performance, which I absolutely love, which I think was absolutely spot on and the freshest take I've ever seen on James Bond. I think he's actually a pretty wonderful actor. I've seen him in Knives Out now. I've seen him in a number of, and he's just got a great charisma about him. So he was wonderful in Knives Out. He was wonderful in, there was another film that he played in recently. I can't remember, but he was really good in that. He's very good in the David Fincher movies as well. And I do really like him as an actor. I wish him the best. I think he's tired of playing James Bond, and I think people should just leave him alone. Like in terms of forcing or wanting the guy to play James Bond. Personally, I think he's really doing it for the money, because he goes around saying he'd rather slit his wrist than play James Bond. And I say, okay, but just let me film it, you know, because I get a lot of money for that, Daniel Craig. If you're going to slit your wrist for playing James Bond, I could just let me film it before, because, you know, I know it's unethical, paparazzi and all that, but whatever. I don't say that word, but an N-word has to eat. Anyway, so I think it's time to react. I think that's the best thing to do. Let's react. All right. bit old now to be playing James Bond, to be honest.
James, fate draws us back together. Now your enemy is my enemy.
His name is Safin.
And what does he want?
Revenge. Me.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
You can imagine why I've come back to play.
There's a young lady in Santiago I want you to meet.
This guy again.
When you're ready. Salute.
I met your new double O. She's a disarming young woman.
I get why you shot him.
Yeah, well, everyone tries at least once.
James Bond. We both eradicate people to make the world a better place. I just want to be a little tidier.
Come on, Bond. Where the hell are you?
You ever flown one of these?
Nope.
Harder to tell the good from bad, villains from heroes these days.
What is it?
You don't know what this is.
Oh look,
He's
the
going to come
obligatory badass Bond. He absolutely needs to be able to
If we
fight
don't do
and
this,
fly planes and these guys.
there will be nothing left to save.
But he still bangs her in the end. So that means he's not really objectifying her. Look, she's almost as good as Bond. These people, man. It got a bit better towards the end, but it's nothing special. Yeah, it did get a bit better towards the end. I need to sit down and really think about that one, because it did get better towards the end. But I have to say I wasn't wildly impressed by that. I know there's been some controversy over the fact that there's a new 007 who is a black woman, but she isn't James Bond himself. She's a new character, so I don't know why people are getting so stressed about that, unless you believe that spies can't be women or something. So I don't really understand that. There was a little bit of controversy behind that she, that it was some kind of SJW woke kind of agenda thing because she was a black woman. And I just think, well, as long as they don't try and literally make a woman into James Bond, she's taking over his 00 status, I'm fine with that. I'm happy that Bond girls are getting a bit more, shine these days, but let's be honest, they are just sex objects, and so is James Bond, really. He's the ultimate, sex object for men and what men want to be. And aspire to be like. I don't know why men want to be called emotionless machines, killing machines, but I get the seducing loads of women thing, but I wouldn't want to seduce women like James Bond seduces women. I think that's boring. I'd rather be a nice person. That's why I don't get as many chicks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's very heavily connected to the last movie, which I didn't really like very much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an actual breakdown of the entire trailer and see, because I like to look at things twice to just really work out what my reaction is. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a proper breakdown after this. So please, once again, do like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and comment. Comments are the most important. I love comments. And please check out some of my other videos, which are currently, you can see some of them I've got linked in the comment section. Yeah. So thanks very much. Have a good one. This is the Nerd Man, and this is With Enough Prep.